Welcome to Intellifluence, an influencer marketing service that you can actually afford. I'm going to take you through the process of setting up a restaurant's influencer marketing campaign targeting the Twitter platform. We'll go through the process from start to finish, and afterwards we'll take a few minutes and we'll analyze the campaign. This will show you just how easy it is to use Intellifluence to get reviewed, build awareness, and increase your sales. For the purpose of today's presentation, I'm the representative of the Basil and Garlic Bistro, and I am going to offer a gift card for influencers to check out my restaurant and then post about it on Twitter. Once you've joined and you've logged into your dashboard, you can go ahead and click Create New Campaign. First, give your campaign a name so you can easily reference it. Next, choose the type of compensation you want to offer influencers. It can be free product, cash, or both, and you'll notice that the fields change depending on which option I choose here. For the purpose of today's demonstration, we're going to go with both. Next, you'll enter the free product or service you're offering here, along with the retail value. So the free product I'm going to offer is a gift card to my restaurant in the amount of $75. So I'm going to add $75 free product value, and then the cash amount, I'm going to offer cash on top of the gift card for this review. In this instance, it's totally up to you what you compensate the influencer. So I'm going to provide $50 additionally for the tweet here. Next, choose how many influencers you want to work with in this campaign. Now, keep in mind you can update this number at any time. Now, you might get a notification telling you that you do not have sufficient funds to pay the number of influencers that you've chosen. Now, you don't need to worry about this right now when setting up the campaign. We'll get to that later. So the required work section is very important, and I want to take a minute to highlight it. You want to make sure that you include all of the required work associated with your campaign. If there's ever an issue with a transaction, it's typically because there's a miscommunication here in the required work section. So you want to be very explicit with what you're looking for. I'm going to add my campaign details right now. Well, I'm letting the influencer know that upon acceptance to the campaign, they will receive a $75 electronic gift card for them and a guest to use at any of our area locations. And then once they've dined, please create a custom tweet and include a high quality image of your experience at the restaurant. And then I have hashtag details and tagging details there, as well as a little information on how they will be compensated for the cash portion of the campaign. Now, if you want to require a mailing address or an email address, it's completely up to you. I am going to have them, they're going to receive an electronic gift card, so I don't need the physical mailing address or their email. I'm going to do that through our Intellifluence messaging service, but if you want to require that, you can certainly do that. So it's really important that you create a campaign image. And this enhances your campaign visibility, especially in the Intellifluence marketplace, where influencers can apply to be a part of your campaign. This makes your campaign look way better, so it's really important to upload an image for your campaign. So we're going to do that right now. Oh yeah, who doesn't love a pizza? Next, select your campaign start and end dates. We're going to let this run for approximately a month here. And then when you get to these two options, this is our internal marketplace where our influencers can apply to be a part of your campaign if they meet the criteria that you set. And then this goes beyond to make your offer open to our third-party partners for maximum exposure. The best thing that you can do is leave both of these checked so you can get the most exposure for your campaign. So next, select up to 5 categories that best represent your product or service. And in this instance, I'm going to select restaurants. And then you can select which country or countries you want to target. If you select the United States, we have further filtering options I'll explain in a minute. So we're going to go with the United States in this example, and then you can select the social platform or platforms you want to promote your restaurant on. I'm going to go with Twitter for this webinar. And you have the option to select a minimum audience size for your campaign. So by default, you'll only see influencers that have your preferred minimum reach. And you can adjust this down the road, so just consider it a starting point. I'm offering a fairly good compensation, so I want to see some followers here. Next, add the URL that you want to promote, whether it's your restaurant website or whatever URL you want promoted. Just enter that there. And below, you have the option to enter a suggested post message that will act as a prompt for the influencer when they are writing their tweet. You also have the option to include posting do's and posting don'ts. So this is a great place to highlight any brand style guide items for your restaurant or any words, topics, or themes you want the influencer to avoid. So I'll add those additional prompts here just so we're all on the same page of what I'm looking for and what I'm looking to avoid. Now, once you've filled out all the fields, you've included all of the required work in a thorough yet straightforward manner. You have the campaign visibility settings, how you want them here, and then you've uploaded a campaign image. You can go ahead and click Save. Once you've saved your campaign, you're automatically redirected to our Discover tool. The Discover tool will enable you to effortlessly search our entire network of influencers and apply advanced filters to display the absolute best candidates. You'll notice this message letting you know that your campaign is live, and here's what to do next. It's time to find the best restaurant influencers on Twitter. In order to make things easy for you, we apply filters based on the information you enter when setting up a campaign. This ensures that you'll only see good candidates from the very beginning, and those filters applied are right here. So this shows that we're viewing influencers that will accept $75 in product value, and in this instance I'm counting the electronic gift card as the product value, and then the $50 cash compensation on top of that gift card. And I'm looking for influencers in the restaurant niche that are located in the United States, that are on Twitter and have a medium following. So you'll see the influencers here, and this is an infinite scroll. You'll just keep seeing more and more. And you can adjust these filters at any time. You can remove certain ones or all of them by clicking Clear All Filters here if you want to start from scratch and search our entire network, or you can apply more filters and refine them right here in our Advanced Filters section. When you get multiple campaigns going and you enter the Discover tool without any filters applied, you can click here to apply filters based on campaigns that you've created in the past. For right now, we can refine by influencer, breaking down by gender. We can change the country. If we've selected the United States, you can select specific states and then zip codes. So this works well for a hyper-local campaign, like for local restaurants. You can search with those radius filters intact, and then you can change your specialties here. So, for example, beyond just restaurants, we can add food and drink too, to expand our search. You can select influencers, filter by influencers you've worked with or currently working with or haven't worked with at all. You can change that total reach number if you're like, oh, I'm not seeing enough. You can just remove it, and that would expand your reach even more. Or if you want to focus on like large influencers with larger audiences, you can select that as well. Then you can refine by your budget. You can change your budget We call this relaxing the filters. Like if you wanted to offer maybe a $100 gift card, or you wanted to offer more cash as an incentive to find influencers that have larger audiences or higher engagement and just require more compensation. We make it easy to change at any point. You can refine by social platforms. So right now we're just focused on Twitter, but you can see all the platforms here. And let's say that we wanted to search a specific reach. We can enter that there. And then if we were looking for blogger influencers, we can search by blog metrics. And each metric has an explanation of what it means in the tooltip if you hover over it. So that's a quick overview on advanced filters. Now we'll look and see, you can see all the influencer cards here. The influencer card includes their social profiles as well as their specialties and their compensation info here. And if you click here and then view profile, you can view their expanded profile with their bio, any images they have. You can check out their social profiles here. Now once you find an influencer you'd like to pitch, just simply click here in the top corner and then click Add to Campaign, and then select the applicable campaign you want to add them to. Click Add. And once you've added the influencer to your campaign, you will see the success message up here, and you can click to go directly to the campaign. You'll see that the influencer has been added to the transaction bar, and you're almost ready to send them your pitch. At this point, you're almost ready to pitch. As I mentioned earlier, you'll need to add funds to your account before you send pitches if you're running a cash campaign. In order to fund your campaign, you just need to click the Add Funds button, which is displayed at the top of almost every screen within the system. Now you can easily add funds using the payment card you have on file that is tied to your subscription. Otherwise, you can click Add a Card if you'd like to add another payment card. If you're ready to add funds, simply enter the amount and click Add Funds. Once you've updated your funds, you'll see an updated account balance here, and you can also view an expanded account balance here that includes all of your Intellifluence payments and subscription history. You can also view and update your payment methods right here. Now that you have created your campaign, use the Discover tool with advanced filters to find the best influencers, and you've added those influencers to your campaign, and you have funded your campaign if you're offering a cash incentive, now's the time to pitch the influencer. You can pitch influencers individually, or you can select multiple influencers to pitch using our bulk pitch tool right here. You can also remove them from your campaign in this instant using the bulk tool. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to send a pitch to this influencer, so I'm going to click Send Pitch. You'll notice the pitch is populated with your most recent campaign details. Since I'm offering cash, you'll notice the cash amount displayed here that includes the Intellifluence payments transaction fee. And then this total represents the total cost to send the pitch. If everything looks right, you can go ahead and click Send Pitch. You can also make any changes you want to this specific pitch before sending. If you want all pitches to reflect these changes, you need to edit the actual campaign. So you would back out, and then you would be at your main campaign screen here, and you would click the Edit button, and then you can edit any single component of the campaign right here. And then once you save that, all changes will be reflected in your subsequent pitches. All right, everything looks good, so I'm going to pitch this influencer. I'm going to click Send Pitch and send the pitch. Once you have pitched the influencer, you'll notice the status update there where you are waiting for a response. This kicks off the transaction flow. At this point, the influencer is going to review your pitch and either accept it, decline, or request changes via the messaging system. You can click messages at any time to access our messaging system, which saves you from having to deal with email because email is cumbersome. Any correspondence with influencers will be stored here, as well as in each transaction within each campaign. So there's multiple ways to read your messages. When you arrive at the dashboard, they'll appear at a glance right here, or like I said, you can click the Messages tab to read all the messages from influencers throughout all your campaigns, and then you can actually just go right to the campaign there and click on the message box right here. If the influencer responds and lets you know that they are looking for different terms, you might need to negotiate by sending a revised pitch, which you can do right here if you still want to work with them. Now back to the campaign. Once the influencer has accepted the pitch, you'll receive an email notification as well as a notification displayed within your dashboard. You'll see a new message notification there, or you can go to the campaign and you'll see the transaction flow update right here. So now I'm ready to send the influencer the product and update this transaction flow, which will notify the influencer that the product is en route. So you can do this here, or you can also do this directly from the message screen as well. This opens your message thread here for the transaction, and you're going to click the Mark Product as Sent button right here, and then you can provide the necessary details such as tracking numbers or estimated delivery times so the influencer knows when to expect delivery. If the influencer needs to purchase the product from your website or a retailer, you can provide the instructions at this time. You can also provide any details such as a referral code if you want them to include it in their post. So now I'm going to mark this as sent, and you'll see within the transaction flow that it's been updated, the product has been sent, and now we just await the response. And we're back. We're in our dashboard, and you can see here in our latest message thread that the influencer has received the product. So we can go directly to that message thread, and we see that there. And you can provide a response thanking the influencer for letting you know. Look forward to reading the review. I find that it's always best to communicate constantly just to keep things rolling along and so both parties are involved. So now that they've received the product, they've notified us that they'll post a review. We just have to wait a little bit. And we're back once again. So let's go to the message section and we see that the influencer has posted. So we'll go to the message thread here and the influencer has included the post link. And so let's take a look at the URL to review. All right, here's the tweet, and upon reviewing, I see that the influencer's done exactly what I asked for. It reads perfectly. The link I want is included. The hashtag tagging looks good, so we can go back to the message thread and mark this transaction as completed. Now, if there was ever an issue with the work that the influencers submitted, you can explain here in the message thread what changes need to be made, rather than marking this as complete. Since everything looks good in this instance, I'm going to mark this as complete. Now you can include a thank you or an invitation to work again in the future. You can let them know that you'll update them on future campaigns if you want to work with them again, whatever you deem necessary. So we're going to mark as complete. And now you have the opportunity to rate the influencer's performance, and this will help us enhance the community even further. Now, in a perfect world, we could end the webinar right now because everything went exactly as planned. But the reality is, sometimes things go awry. If you've done your best to provide clear instructions throughout the transaction, but there's an issue with the transaction and you try to resolve it directly with the influencer to no avail, you do have the option to flag the transaction for further review. Now, before you do this, like I said, really try and work it out with the influencer. Effective communication will go a long way. But if you're just not getting to the bottom of it, you can click the Flag This Transaction button up here, and you'll notice this message. Please only flag a transaction for review after you've tried to resolve the issue on your own. Appropriate reasons for flagging a transaction include requesting help to get any party to comply with the terms of your agreement, bringing to our attention any party that has acted in a non-professional manner, or bringing to our attention any content that doesn't comply with Intellifluence policies. If you notice anything illegal, if there's serious issues with the content. If you're experiencing anything like that, let us know about it by flagging the transaction. Also, if you've sent a pitch to an influencer but they don't want to move forward and they haven't declined it, or you've changed your mind before any of the transaction steps past pitching have been completed, you have the option to archive the transaction, and that icon would show up right there if that was an applicable transaction you could archive. Now that we have completed a transaction from start to finish, it's time to analyze the campaign. If you haven't achieved the results you're looking for, there's several steps you can take to encourage greater success. First, you might want to adjust the advanced filters when searching for an influencer using the Discover tool. Like I mentioned earlier, you might need to relax these filters a little bit. You might need to expand the categories and relax the audience requirements of influencers in terms of their social platforms or blog visitors. For your campaign, you may want to edit it and offer more product or cash value to encourage more pitch acceptances and marketplace applications. You may need to be more explicit in the required work section of the campaign if the influencer's work is consistently not meeting your expectations. It's really easy to edit your campaign and adjust the advanced filters within the Discover tool. We created a video called How to Analyze a Campaign on our YouTube channel that you can check out for more advice on analyzing your campaign. Within any screen in our system, you can either take a tour and get an explanation of how things work. Otherwise, you can click on the FAQ link to go to our knowledge base where you can search help articles by topic. If your question isn't answered or you need some more help, you can submit a request directly to one of our friendly customer service staff members such as myself. I hope this webinar has helped you out, and we look forward to helping you reach your influencer marketing goals.